Hey folks, Wayne Bolden from the Speed King channel. It is Monday afternoon and I hope everybody had a good start of the week. If you're watching this video, do us a big favor and hit the red button that says subscribe. Also ring that little bell up there so you can get notified each and every time that we do one of these videos. We put major races together nationally each and every week and we bring them to you free of charge, zero money down. And you're saying, why is the Speed King on my radio? We have some breaking news, and I tell you what, you know what? Here we go with this Bob Baffert thing again, folks. And as you may have heard or may not have heard, Bob Baffert and California Horse Racing Board has decided not to suspend Bob Baffert's license. Or preclude him, I shouldn't say suspend his license, that too, but preclude him from racing in California. And that decision came down today, and their position basically was this, and it's valid, okay? I mean, as painful as it is, and I know whatever side you come down on this, I can understand California's position. Their position is this. Listen. Kentucky and New York basically banned Bob from participating in horse racing on any of their properties. That is a property issue. They have the right to do that. What they didn't do, the Racing Commission of New York and Kentucky, is suspend his license. So his license are intact in Kentucky and New York. They're just not allowing him on the property to participate in the races. What California is saying, as if one of those authorities would have suspended his license, then they would have reciprocated and did the same. But being that they didn't, they have and cannot, for any good justifiable reason, to not allow him to participate in California racing. Until due process is done. And again, thank God we live in America, right? We're innocent to proven guilty, that everybody deserves due process. So, of course, we want to know what your position is on this, obviously. And again, I know we all believe that California wasn't going to stop him from racing there, right? We all believe that. But that is the right decision for California or any other track that makes that decision not to allow him on their property. That's their right. To allow him to race, that's their right. Until somebody suspends his license, the other jurisdictions and the other racetracks really have no recourse but to do the same. But nobody's done that. Bob Baffert's license are intact in all these jurisdictions, in all these areas. They are. But they don't have to allow him to race on their property. That's a personal decision from the property owners. But the commissions have not suspended his license, and that's why California is saying that, hey, we're not going to take any action against Bob Baffert, and that's the end of that story. Now, also in the article and the statement that came from the CHRB, which is the California Horse Racing Board, they also said that Bob Baffert, a horse in his barn, died, named Noodles, from a non-racing or training related cause. This is an unraced, I believe, a 2-year-old. I think they died yesterday. And a 2-year-old colt that's unraced. And he passed away in Bob's barn, and again, we hate to hear that. And again, they're going to do an autopsy and all of that. So the breaking news is California will allow Bob Baffert to continue to participate and compete. In California, they said they have no calls to stop him or suspend him from doing that. No jurisdiction has done that, including Kentucky and New York, what Kentucky and New York has done, have basically told him they didn't want him on their property, and they could do that. But the commission for Kentucky and New York has not suspended Bob Baffert's license, but have every right not to allow him to race. But California said they wasn't going to take that position without due process taking place. Now, having said that, when California did what they did, you know who got involved right away? PETA. PETA jumped up. They jumping up and down out there in California. They're protesting. They're doing all kinds of things. They said that Bob Baffert has been allowed to do these type of things over the years. And of course, PETA wants Bob suspended or whatever, right? But again, he has not been found guilty of anything. Now, he does have, I believe the article says, over 30 violations, over the last few years. And several horses that have had a lot of trouble in his barn. So PETA is all over this thing. They're out in California. That group is out there, and they're after Bob in a bad way. But I want to know what you nice folks think about it. Of course, we had another video out there in regards to this. But the breaking news here is that California is not going to do nothing. And again, irregardless of what side you come down on, the left side or the right side, you should or you shouldn't. Again, we live in America. He deserves due process. I deserve due process. And you deserve due process. But it doesn't allow, it doesn't stop us from having a dialogue about how we feel about it personally. Sure, he has a lot of violations, and that's not good. Okay? Including Justify and several other horses in his barn. Okay? And it doesn't help the sport at all, in my opinion. And I'm sure you have an opinion about it too. But let's give him his due process. He deserves it. The evidence will come out eventually on what's what. And I do believe that whatever side that this evidence come down on, if the split sample is positive, I believe New York, Kentucky, and even California, I believe they'll do the right thing, But let's give Bob his due, as we would want for ourselves or from any organization that we support. He does deserve that. But the reason that we're here, we wanted to break the news that Bob Baffert will continue to race in California, which we kind of thought anyway, right? And so the question to you, and I know you guys will do it intellectually. I know you'll do it classy. I know you'll weigh both sides of the argument as we do our dialogue and we give ourselves a platform to talk about the sport that we love. Bob Baffert is the biggest name in the sport, or one of them. We hadn't had a Triple Crown winner in 37 years, and he's got 2 in the last 2 or 3 or 4 years. And people are questioning that, So let's give him his due. That's my position. I don't want to jump to conclusions. I don't want to put the horse before the cart before the horse. I think that's fair. And it's absolutely New York's right to ban him or anybody else from their property, as it is my right to ban you from my property here where I'm at. This is my property. I don't have to allow you on it. But there's one thing to ban you from my property, but there's another thing to take your license. And that's what California is saying. And to me, that's valid. So everybody should understand, Bob Baffert's license has not been suspended nowhere in the country. They're just not allowing him to participate on their property. And California's position was they cannot justify doing that without due process. And of course, that's illegally. And the other big news about the thing is the horse Noodles, who had died, an unraced horse in Bob's barn, a 2-year-old. They're going to do an autopsy. And of course, PETA is after Bob, and they are they're not happy, according to this article, that California continues to allow Bob Baffert to race with over 30 medication violations, despite 30 medication violations, and over 7 horses or something that had a lot of trouble. So once again, classy people, Wayne Bolden from the Speed King channel. Bob Baffert is allowed to run in California, which we all knew that anyway. You know, I have my personal opinion, but I want to be fair and I want to be equal. I would want the same thing for me. But you know what? Let's open up the dialogue. Y'all tell me what your position is. I know it's going to be intelligent. I know it's going to be classy, because we can disagree without being disagreeable, and that we respect each other for having an opinion and the right to express that opinion. Again, that's due process. And that's what I love about my classy listeners here on our channel. We are classy, we have healthy conversations, and what we think about California. Allowing Bob, yeah, that's right, Bob and his big head horses running around on medication. So they say. I don't know that. Tell me what you think, folks. Let's get the dialogue going. As always, you know how we do. Give a shout out there to Mr. Jim. Hey, Jim P. Out there to Timmy Walsh. Tim, what's going on, my friend? Appreciate you. And James Wayne, hey, got your shirt coming to you, brother. A little jazz in the background. I know Bob could use a little jazz right now. This is for you, Mr. Baffert. We ain't going to call you wrong or right. We're just going to talk about it in a healthy way. And we hope that this doesn't hurt our game. We love this game. We want everybody to do the right thing. Tell me what you think, folks. What side of this here equation that you come down on? My name is Wayne Bolden. We're out. That's right. Bob Baffert is allowed to continue to race in California.